If you want to raise kind, emotionally strong, God-fearing children who love their neighbors, who do good in this world, then this one is for you. Listen, I have always imagined myself in my strong, retired age, sitting on my porch, sipping some tea, reading a good book, or probably looking or watching, probably listening to a good podcast because I'm a podcast girl, and just reflecting over my life and thinking, if I haven't done one good thing in my life, I know I've raised good, healthy, strong, kind, God-fearing kids. I feel like it's a part of the mission of motherhood is to create disciples through our children. We will never be more close to anyone else other than our children and our husband. But when it comes to disciples, like teaching, guiding, discipline by way of discipleship, I think about our kids and I think about our unique perspective and position that we have in our kids' life when it comes to raising them to be good humans. So today I'm going to share with you 3 rules that I think you should follow if you want to raise kind, God-fearing kids. The first rule is to be able to provide for your kids emotionally, physically, spiritually, a holistic perspective of providing safety and a safe environment for your kids to grow up in, to learn about Jesus, to learn about how to treat other people, and to learn about themselves and their identity in this world. Now, I think for a lot of people, you might say, well, duh, right? I'm supposed to provide for them and meet their basic needs, etc., etc. But I think, we come from a generation's past where, like, I put food on your table, I put clothes on your back, I took you to school, I put you in the activities, I bought you this, that, and this. And it can be seen as a way of providing, or some people would think that. But usually that type of provision is only thought about with the material things. But I want to go a little bit deeper and talk about the emotional and spiritual aspects of providing for your children. When you think about emotionally providing a safe environment for your kids, I want you to think about the best boss you ever had. I'm talking about this man or woman laid out your career path like nobody else. They would come in and mentor and coach you, and if you messed up, they would take you under their wings and actually help you come into the role, not just bash you and put you down. They praised you in front of other people when you went to give a presentation or in the meeting. You were like, you know what? That's my boss. When you felt uneasy about where your things were going or you needed time off, you never hesitated to go to them because you knew that they provided a safe place for you to go. Now I want you to think about yourself as this boss and your child as the employee. Our job is not just to provide food, water, and shelter, but it's also to provide this type of environment where our kids feel safe to come to us about things that have hurt them, things that have made them happy, things that they're learning, and they should be given this space to grow and mature. Think about all the times that God has been patient with you as you learn new things, right? And you keep bumping your head up against the same old lesson he's been trying to teach you for years. But he's so patient. He's so kind. Instead of saying, you know what? I've told you to do this several times and you're not listening. Let me pop that hand. Instead, he says, I'll be willing to walk you through it again. I'm right here, right? We think about the story of the prodigal son. He was off doing his own business, his own thing. And when he was ready, the father was ready to welcome him back in. And in fact, he ran towards him in this act of protection, in this act of providing this safe environment for him to come home. In that same token, as you are raising these kind, God-fearing little people in your home, providing emotional safety for them also to grow into their spiritual safety, to know God as a caring, loving, present father because of the way that you treat them in the way that you parent. The next one is to be able to pursue godliness even during meltdowns, tantrums, and challenging behaviors, because that's when it's needed the most. Everyone can be excited and happy and cheerful and present and calm when your child is a newborn baby and they just you look at those little toes, and you just want to play with them, and they don't have much to say back except for at night when they're supposed to sleep, but that's another story, okay? But anybody can be nurturing and caring and kind and pray over and be so patient with their child when they're that young. But when they start to speak and they start to say no, and they start to have their own words and their own opinions and their own ideas about specific things, that's when the real patience is tested. So when you're able to remain calm, regulate your anxiety so it doesn't lead to mom rage, regulate your anxiety so you don't end up shutting down, leaving the room, and having your kids guessing to think, oh my gosh, am I the one that caused my mommy to be this mad that she has to disconnect and go away from me? Or even just the subtle frustration and annoyance that you get with your kids and that snappiness and like, and they pick up this feeling of being a burden to you instead of someone who is celebrated and you're happy to be around. Whenever you're able to pursue godliness, even through the midst of tantrums and challenging behaviors, you are modeling to your children the expectation and the standard of godliness itself. You know, in Galatians 5, when it's listing out all of these fruits of the Spirit, and it goes through the patience and the kindness and the gentleness and all the things of Galatians 5, it doesn't say, but only when it feels good to you, or only when things are good. It's like in all things, right? And managing your child's behavior is no different. So that's number 2, pursuing godliness even during challenging behaviors. The third rule in being able to raise kind, God-fearing children is to be able to prepare them for life beyond childhood. Now, God willing, our children will only be children for so long. They will grow up and be adults, and God willing, they'll be adults far longer than they will be children. So when we are navigating challenging behaviors, when we're teaching them different characteristics of God, even down to the smallest things of how to clean up behind themselves, how to say thank you, how to share with their siblings and their friends, in those moments, if you're able to see that as teaching for the future, preparation for the future, it completely shifts your mindset. So you're no longer focused on how do I nip this behavior in the bud right now and take this shortcut, but you're thinking long term. How can I use this scenario, this small little lesson right now to help them years and years down the way? And don't get me wrong, I believe that our children have a lifetime to understand and to learn more and more about the character of God. I really do. I think that there's no way that we can teach them everything. That's what mentors are for, and teachers, and what they'll learn in their career paths and other things that God has up his sleeve for our children. There is room and there is space for them to learn more about how to be kind, how to be more like God, that is outside of us. So the pressure's not all on you. However, one of your biggest roles as a mom is to be a good steward of your child and your child's heart. So it boils down to these simple 3 things: being able to provide that emotionally, physically, and spiritually healthy, safe environment, being able to pursue godliness even through the challenging behaviors, and being able to prepare them for life beyond childhood. In my upcoming free training, Disrupting the Anxiety Cycle as a Christian Wife and Mom, I'm walking you through the exact steps you need to know about how to get out of the anxiety cycle. So this is possible. So you're able to exemplify these rules in your home. You're able to raise them up as good, kind, God-fearing children, because your anxiety is not getting in the way. You're going to learn the root of your anxiety, how to identify your blind spots in anxiety so that it's not interfering with your ability to show up as a present mom, to show up as a peaceful and present wife, and how undoing this cycle helps you become the wife and mom that you want to be. I hope I see you there February 25th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. Until next time, peace up, peace in, peace out.